Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to the biology lesson. Hope you are all safe and healthy and focusing on your studies. Now let's start with lesson number 1 for week number 6. So in this week we'll start the new chapter, chapter number 5, cell cycle, and the topics for today's lesson are cell cycle and mitosis. The objectives of this lesson are: by the end of the lesson, students will be able to define cell cycle, name its different phases, explain interphase in detail, define mitosis, and list its different phases, describe the process of mitosis in detail, draw a label diagram to show the different phases of mitosis. Now, if you remember, you have done the characteristics of living things in your previous classes, and reproduction was one of them. So reproduction occurs at different levels of organization. A part of the cell may reproduce, such as chromosomes, reproduces and produces new chromosomes. Cells can produce new cells, like when an organism is growing, cells they reproduce. When some part of the body needs some repair, there is an injury, so in order to repair that part, in order to replace the worn out cells of your body, cells they reproduce and they produce new cells. Individuals, they produce offsprings like themselves, so reproduction is an important or basic characteristic of life. Now, hope you remember Rudolf Virchow from chapter 4, who said that all cells they come from pre-existing cells. So for the continuation of life, reproduction is very important. And this cellular reproduction is commonly known as cell division. And it is a part of the whole life of a cell, and we call that as cell cycle. Now let's see what cell cycle is. Cell cycle is the series of events from the time a cell is produced until it completes mitosis and produces new cells. Now this concept map shows that the new cell, after it is produced, it undergoes growth, and when it grows to the size of the parent, it again divides and produces a new cell. So this time period between these two new cells is actually the cell cycle, and many changes they take place in this period. Cell cycle, it consists of two major phases. First one is interphase. It is a longer phase and cell prepares itself for division in this phase. Mitotic phase or M phase is the second phase. It is a relatively short period of cell cycle. Now this question can come to your mind, that how long does a cell take to divide? So scientists who were observing these changes in different animal cells in the laboratory, they saw that normally animal cells were taking around 24 hours to complete one cell cycle, but this varies in different cells. Some cells, they constantly go through the cell cycle, like your skin cells, because they are continuously replaced throughout your life. So they continuously undergo this cell cycle and keep on reproducing and keep on replacing the old cells. And some cells, they don't grow and divide after they mature. Neuron is one of the examples. Now let's start with interphase, which is the first phase of the cell cycle. After a cell is produced, it enters the interphase. So interphase is the time when a cell's metabolic activity is very high and it is performing many functions. This interphase is further divided into three phases: G1, first gap; S, synthesis; G2, second gap. Now G1 is the first phase, and after the production of a cell starts its life cycle from here. During this phase, the cell increases its supply of proteins. It increases the number of its organelles such as mitochondria, ribosomes. It grows in size. Because it is growing in size, so it requires more organelles, and for growth, it also needs more proteins. And also in this phase, synthesis of various enzymes which are required in the next phase, that is the S phase. Those enzymes, they are also synthesized. The next phase is the S phase, and in this phase the duplication of chromosomes takes place. As a result, each chromosome consists of two sister chromatids which are joined at the centromere. In this way, the genetic material of a cell is doubled before it enters the M phase. Another change which takes place in S phase is the duplication of the centrosomes. In G2 phase, the cell prepares proteins that are essential for mitosis and mainly for the production of spindle fiber. Inhibition of the protein synthesis in the G2 phase prevents the cell from entering the M phase. Now you can clearly see from the images which are given in this slide the changes that have taken place from G1 to G2. In the G1 you can see that only one centrosome is present. The chromosomes are in the form of a chromatin, and after passing through the S phase, when the cell enters the G2 phase, the centrosomes have divided. The chromosomes now are in the form of chromatids. Now after the G2 phase of interphase, the cell enters the division phase, that is the M phase, and it is characterized by mitosis, in which the cell divides into two daughter cells. Now, as discussed earlier, all the cells of an organism do not divide all the time. They do not undergo the cell cycle continuously, and they may stop dividing after they mature. Now, those cells that have temporarily or permanently stopped dividing, they are said to have entered a state of quiescence, and that is called as G0 phase. Quiescence means that they become inactive or they become dormant, they do not divide. So G0 phase, in multicellular eukaryotic cells, they enter the G0 phase from G1. They do not enter the S and the G2 phase, and from G1 they enter the G0 and they stop dividing. Now some of the cells, they remain in the G0 for indefinite period of time, that is the neurons, but some cells enter G0 phase semi-permanently, that is some cells of the liver and kidney, and after some time they divide again. Many cells, they do not enter G0 and they continue to divide throughout an organism's life, like the epithelial cells which are covering the lining of your body. The next phase of cell cycle is mitosis. In 1880s, a German biologist, Walter Fleming, he observed many nuclear changes in a dividing cell, and he called those changes as mitosis. So mitosis is defined as the type of cell division in which a cell divides into two daughter cells, each with the same number of chromosomes as were present in the parent cell. So mitosis takes place in the eukaryotic cells, and in the multicellular eukaryotic organisms, only the somatic cells, they undergo mitosis. Somatic cell means the cells which make the body of an organism. So somatic cells, they undergo mitosis and produce similar cells with the same number of chromosomes, and there is another term which is the germ-line cells. Germ-line cells are those cells in the body of an organism which produce the gametes, and they undergo another type of cell division which is known as meiosis, which we will study in the later lessons. Prokaryotic cells, they do not undergo mitosis. They simply divide into two cells, and the process is known as binary fission. Now, mitosis is a complex and a highly regulated process, and it is divided into two major phases. First one is the karyokinesis. Karyokinesis is the division of the nucleus, and this division is further divided into four subphases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And the next type of division in mitosis is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm which takes place after the division of the nucleus, and the cell is divided into two daughter cells. Stereokinesis is the first phase of mitosis. It is the division of the nucleus, and it is divided into four phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Now let's see what happens in prophase. Condensation of chromatin. Chromatin condenses into highly ordered structures called chromosomes, and as if you recall that the chromosomes, they have already duplicated in the S phase. So each chromosome is made up of two sister chromatids which are bound together at the same centromere. Kinetochore protein. Each chromosome has a complex protein present at its centromere which is known as kinetochore protein, and this is the point where the spindle fibers will attach with the chromosomes. Spindle fibers, centrosomes which have already duplicated in the interphase, they move towards the opposite poles and they give rise to microtubules by joining the tubulin proteins which are present in the cytoplasm. Mitotic spindle, complete set of spindle fibers is known as mitotic spindle. Degradation of nucleolus and nuclear envelope. Nucleolus is a small structure which is present in the nucleus. So in prophase, this also disappears or degrades. The nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane also disappears. Spindle fibers, they invade the central space. As the nuclear envelope has degraded, it has disappeared. So the spindle fibers, they occupy the center of the cell in the cytoplasm. Plant cells, as you know, they have a large vacuole in the center. So when the prophase starts, the nucleus migrates to the center of the cell. Plant cells also lack centrioles, so the spindle fibers in the plant cells are formed by the aggregation of tubulin proteins on the surface of nuclear envelope during prophase. Now, as you can see from the image that the centrioles, they are moving towards the opposite poles. Spindle fibers, they are being formed. Nuclear envelope is degrading. You can clearly see 4 chromosomes in the cell, and they are in the form of chromatids which are attached at their centromere. Now please note from here that the cell has 4 chromosomes in its nucleus. Metaphase comes after the prophase. In metaphase, some spindle fibers which have the kinetochore protein in them, they are known as kinetochore fibers. They attach with the kinetochores of chromosomes which is present at the centromere. 2 kinetochore fibers from opposite poles, they attach with each chromosome, as you can see from the image. Chromosomes, they arrange themselves along the equator of the cell and they form a plate which is known as the metaphase plate. Now other fibers which do not have kinetochore protein in them, known as non-kinetochore, arising from the opposite centrosomes, they attach with each other. Now one thing very important which you should note over here from the image is that the cell has 4 chromosomes in it. And if you recall the previous slide, the prophase, we started with the cell having 4 chromosomes. So here all those 4 chromosomes have formed the metaphase plate. The next phase is anaphase. In anaphase, the kinetochore spindle starts to pull towards the originating centrosomes, and as a result of this pulling force, the centromere also divides and the sister chromatids, they separate and they become sister chromosomes. So as a result of this, 2 sets of 4 chromosomes each are formed. Now these 2 sets, they are pulled apart towards the respective centrosomes. The non-kinetochore spindle fibers also elongate, and the cell separates identical copies of chromosomes into 2 groups at the opposite poles, and each group has the same number of chromosomes as was present in the parent cell. Telophase is the last phase of karyokinesis. In telophase, the chromosomes, the two sets of chromosomes, they reach the opposite poles of the cell. They uncoil and lengthen. Spindle fibers disintegrate. Nuclear envelope reforms. Nucleoli reappear. And we can see that at the opposite poles, two nuclei are present, and each nucleus has the same number of chromosomes which was present in the parent cell. So this completes the division of the nucleus, which is known as karyokinesis. But the cell division is not completed because the cytoplasm has not divided yet, and division of cytoplasm takes place in the next phase, which is known as cytokinesis. This is a diagram given in your book which shows the different phases of mitosis. You can see that in the prophase, different changes take place. Chromatin condenses, centrosome replicates, condensation continues, spindle formation takes place, and nuclear envelope breaks. Metaphase, in the metaphase plate forms. Anaphase, sister chromatids, they separate. Telophase, daughter nuclei, they form, and after that the cell goes into the division of the cytoplasm, which is known as cytokinesis, which we will study in the next lesson. With this, we finish the lesson number 1 for this week. Now let's have a quick recap of what we have studied. Cell cycle is the series of events from the time a cell is produced until it completes mitosis and produces new cells. Cell cycle consists of two major phases, interphase and M or mitotic phase. Interphase is a longer phase with high metabolic activity where the cell prepares itself for division. It is further divided into three phases: G1 first gap, S synthesis, and G2 second gap. Mitosis is the type of cell division in which a cell divides into two daughter cells, each with the same number of chromosomes as were present in parent cell. Mitosis consists of two phases: karyokinesis, which is the division of the nucleus, followed by cytokinesis, which is the division of the cytoplasm. Karyokinesis consists of four phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So here is a concept map of today's lesson. Hope all of you have understood the lesson. Have a very good practice of all the concepts and all the diagrams. Take good care of yourself. Thank you.